Hello, this is Dr. Regina with Life Psychiatry. Welcome, and thank you so much for giving of your time. We're going to respect it and get right into this. People often ask why we are called Led Life. It's because we offer mental health guidance one step at a time. We're leading you along your health journey. You're doing the work, but we're right there alongside you, helping you fulfill our purpose and hopefully get you better as well. Helping the community of the DMV live depression free is our goal. How do we get into this realm? Well, I've been practicing for over 15 years. However, we only started using neural health medicines, novel medicines within the last 3 years. And that was basically because we had a patient. We like to listen to our patients. We learn from our patients. It helps us grow and it helps us help other patients. And we had one who was actually from another country who came here and said, "Hey, how come you're not using this treatment?" And at the time, we had no interest in it. But we were convinced to go ahead and start the treatment because we saw the remarkable results. And I will tell you that 100% of our patients who follow our program, they get better. And you see two of them right here. You will not believe the fact that only 30% of the people that apply to our program get accepted, even though we have these wonderful results. And again, it's because we want to make sure that people have a very clear vision of what they want, that they are committed to the program, and that they want to join one of the hundreds of people that we've already helped live depression free. Now, the problem, unfortunately, in the United States is that only 30% of people who try antidepressants for the first time get better. That means 60% of people treated with medicines for depression report that they didn't work long term. I want you to think about that. How does that strike you? Yeah, that strikes me as appalling. That was the term that I created on a social media stream a while back. It's deplorable and appalling. It's appalling. The average person tries three different medicines to treat depression, and there are more products on the market than ever before. There are medicines, there's supplements, there's this, there's that, but they're not working long term. And I think it's because we're not getting to the root cause. We're not using what we already have available in modern science effectively. So let's talk about the problem. Let's talk about the root cause. So when I talk to people, you'll see the tree exercise that we sometimes do. I may do it today. But I tell people if you're in a helicopter and you are looking over a grove of trees, first thing you see are the leaves. And then if you get closer, the branches, and then closer still, you see the external roots, right? The surface roots. But underneath that are deeper roots, right? And we think about the fact that those deeper roots are often things that patients aren't even aware of that's going on. They think that the root is the surface stuff, depression or divorce, history of trauma or child abuse. Those things are horrible and they definitely impact the brain, but they're not the root cause of the problem. They're not the root cause of the depression. The root cause is neuronal pathway disruption, right? So those things that we just talked about, they cause inflammatory reactions, stress hormones. Those things can be toxic to the brain, and they could actually cause damage to the neurons. And then the neurons don't function the way that they should. They're not communicating the way they should. And so guess what? Your thinking isn't as clear. That's why sometimes people with depression have brain fog or concentration issues, or they tell me that they're constantly irritable, right? It's because from a cognitive perspective, you are really just following in line with what your brain is kind of telling you, the signals that you're getting. And then you've got these thoughts that are coming. And I've had patients say, I don't even know where these thoughts are coming from. This is not of me. Why am I having this thought? Again, it starts with that disruption that impacts your thinking, and then that impacts your lifestyle patterns. And that's why people can fall into addictive patterns where they're doing things that they know that they really shouldn't do, or things that are unhealthy and not helping their cause. It's because of this cascade. And so we believe that the solution is fixing the cascade of problems. Neuronal pathway disruption, we want to address that with rewiring the brain. Cognitive difficulties, we want to address that by renewing the mind. Lifestyle patterns, we want to address that by restoring a sense of health and happiness. And we do that through our 3R program. We rewire, we renew, and we restore. We rewire with medicines, we renew with cognitive therapies, and we restore by going to these 6 areas of health. We call them our 6 zones of brilliance. And why do we do it this way? Of course, if we just address one of those issues on the slide before, we'd only be able to get a third of the way, right? That's probably why only 30% of people aren't getting better, right? Our brain thinks in terms of thirds. Unfortunately, if you're just trying an SSRI or just in therapy, you're not combining them, you're not going to get as far. And if you're not in the right therapy or in the right medicine, that can be a problem. We take a very broad view of medicines here. We rewire with medicines, and medicines can be anything from nutrition and a pharmaceutical medicine to a neural health medicine like Spravato or ketamine. We fit that to you as an individual. Not everybody's a candidate for Spravato or ketamine. Some people are better with natural remedies, right? I wrote a book in 2017, and it was Victory Over Depression with and without medicines. We titled it that way, even though we think about everything as a medicine, because the average person doesn't think of healthy intake as medicine. We renew the mind with a custom cognitive therapy plan for you. That's anywhere from 6 sessions to 12 sessions. It totally depends on the person. And that restoration of health, we start that in this office, right? So the relaxation that you're doing right now, it's reducing those stress hormones. It's reducing the things that can be toxic to the brain. Right? So those 6 zones of brilliance, just to review, are based on the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, but we actually tweak it. Right? We took what they had, and we think that we're perfecting it for our clients here in our office. Substance prevention as opposed to substance maintenance, because if we can prevent the stress hormones from even arising, we don't have to manage them, right? We can keep that stress nice and low. Movement or physical activity, healthful intake, including water, and including fasting, right? Intermittent fasting, water fasting. We've used that with patients before. Substance moderation, we are specific about this. Everybody needs this. People will say, oh, I don't have a drinking problem. Oh, I don't have a gambling problem. Well, those are substances that we often think of initially as needing to be moderated. But how's your work schedule? Right? How much time are you spending in self-care? And how much time are you spending working? This is for my entrepreneurs and my execs. How much time are you spending working and working and working? And it's hard to disconnect, right? Do you have a day of rest? Are you able to disconnect? Are you able to have a good period of time in the evening to disconnect? How is that impacting the next one? Sleep maintenance and your ability to relate to other people because you're not irritable or cranky because you had a good night's sleep. And relationship management, of course, is a part of that. So these are the areas that we want you to be thinking about today as you're relaxing. In the chair that you are in, you can make sure that you lean back. There are 4 buttons on the side that you can recline the chair if you like, and inflate the headrest if you would like. The diffuser should be on. The essential oils are curated to each room. So, for example, if you're in the beach room, those are scents that are found in the flora and fauna of the area of the beach and on the Big Island of Hawaii, specifically Kona. That's the region that we were going for. So the essential oils are meant to be helpful as well. If you brought music with you, you can put that on.